Heidi and Frank Show, 1-800-955-5567. Where is Hal Spark? Get his
We've
ass
been waiting
in here.
on
There's
him.
the band, 01.
01.
It was Hal's band, but they made him change it.
Hi.
There he is.
Hello.
Just as adorable in real life as you are on television.
It's true.
Good to see you, man.
Hi, good to see you.
You are going to be performing your stand-up at Flappers. Love Flappers.
It's great.
Of all the places you do stand-up, like that place the most.
It is, especially LA. It's the closest thing to a national club, like when you go to Iowa or you go to upstate New York, whatever. The Flappers is the closest thing in LA you'll find.
It does sound
to
like
that.
a strip club, though, right?
Well, it sounds like
a strip
like
club.
a 20s place
Right.
where
Hey!
you go see like little short dresses and everybody's
Doing the
opiumed
Charleston.
out and and
Hal
laying.
has to dress like a flapper.
Yeah,
like
right. I lay on an
delivers.
opium bed during the entire thing and
love it.
expound on things like Sherlock Holmes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's actually an awesome club. And whenever I do a show there, it's all improv. It's a full. I write there, so I go up with concepts, but I don't prep
Whoa.
at all. It's the tightrope.
Kind of like
show.
this show.
I don't know if you're selling it.
Huh? No, it's kind of awesome.
Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah,
that
I've been
way.
there. I've been there a
Okay.
few times. If it didn't work, they
I
probably
have
wouldn't.
no idea
That's
what
true.
I'm going to do. Who knows? Come
Well,
out.
well, most of the shows I write,
But
like,
for you, I mean, that's just like
Yeah.
that's the best to be
second
able to go up there
nature.
and just watch it
I've been
happen.
doing stand-up since I was 15. So if
Right.
I don't have it down by now, it's not. It's almost like bragging at a certain point
Like,
to say
it
you're
really
good
is,
at it
right.
after a time because you're like, you should be.
Hal,
I
this is
can't
what-
imagine sitting down and writing, I don't know, 5 minutes because I mean, I have such respect for the stand-up comic. But this show we come in here, kind of have a outline of where we're going to go, and then it just kind of goes wherever it wants to go.
Right.
But I can't imagine having, like. Even if I wrote down
It's an
5 minutes
excellent description,
to
by the
get
way.
up there,
Yeah.
I would vomit. I think I would be so nervous I'd probably poop my pants
I
a
couldn't
little
do
bit.
it at all.
See, I think most people have a concept about what they would do on stage that's the exact opposite of what they have to fear the most and what they would actually do. Most people think that they will walk up on stage, not have anything to say, and they'll freeze,
Right.
and it'll be embarrassing. The exact opposite is true. What most people do when they walk on stage is to fill the silence. They will start pouring anything out. And the most embarrassed, I had genital warts at one point, like all
Just
this
looking
stuff
for
will
anything.
just whatever, just will.
I don't
and you're
want it
like,
to be silent.
my God, there are people here.
You're right. Don't.
That's
No.
what, honest to God, that's what people do. It's the fear of filling the silence that most
Right.
people really are scared of. You ask, what's the worst that you stand up there and you don't say anything? What are they going to do? Boo you for not saying something?
Right, yeah,
They're
yeah.
going to boo you for what you say, and that's what freaks most people out.
And you're so not getting laid after you've just done 5 minutes on the fact that you have genital warts.
Right, exactly.
You're not getting any
right.
comedy groupies.
Well, the funny thing is, it wouldn't even be. You could do 5 minutes on it and probably still get laid. But it's when you go up there and you just kind of go, I had it. And I don't know it. I once kissed my cat in the morning because I woke up and like that's what. It's not even
Oh,
jokes.
God, it's
People will
uncomfortable.
just spill. I think it was at the Improv at one point they had like this porn stars and comics thing
Yeah.
they were doing for a while, and because I guess some of the porn stars wanted to try comedy because they weren't.
They should watch some of their movies.
Right, easily embarrassed enough. I think.
Right.
At a certain point, what have you got to be scared of? You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You've seen both my sets of labia,
Yeah, right,
Minora and
exactly.
Majora.
Yeah,
I
right.
mean, really, who
Yeah,
cares?
right. You know me better than my gynecologist does. So what am I worried about? But they would do this thing, and it would just. You're like, oh, I see. They're not really telling jokes. They're just gonna spill. It was
I
like
think it's sad.
Yeah, after the third one, you're like, I gotta go.
Yeah.
But a lot of comedians come in here and they'll say that they love, like, there's nothing funnier. This would be uncomfortable to me, but there's nothing funnier than like waiting to go on and the guy ahead of you is just bombing. Like, it's hilarious. Like, you're in the back of the club and you're going, oh my God, he's
Not
bombing.
if he's your. That's a totally amateur POV of doing a real show because
So you want the guy ahead of you to kill so that the
you want
audience...
everybody to do well because you
Okay.
don't want to because like I bring my own feature on the road. My buddy Chris Bono or Charlene May, I'll take somebody with that I trust that will be funny, but also that's different enough for my act that it's
Right.
not a lot of
A lot of the
overlap.
same.
But I don't want to have to dig out of a hole they made.
Oh.
You know, they used to call me the bomb squad at the Kindness of Strangers. Used to be this coffee shop on Lankershim here in LA where it was the one big place to go do stand-up, right?
Yeah.
And there was like a few coffee houses, but this was like an actual show. And they called me the bomb squad because anybody who really sucked, they would go, "Oh, put Hal up after him. He doesn't care." Because I didn't care. I don't care. Like I do that Kiss purview, which is every show is Madison Square Garden.
No matter how big.
Yeah, if you're on a coaster, with a tiny little mic stand on the, boom, kick it off the stage. What's up, people? What's up, people? I am it. That's whatever George Carlin's thing. That's the name of this job. Dig me. And that's what I do. But they used to put me up after guys who just were like rambly and crap. It was
I mean, and I'm one of those guys that finds that funny. As far as like you said, the amateur. I mean,
the brutal.
Where knowing the guy is dying on stage and just the uncomfortableness and knowing how like trying to fill silences or whatever, and I'm laughing and people are looking at me like this idiot thinks this guy's funny. And
right?
I'm just like that.
No, this is just.
You're just laughing like almost nervous laughter.
Almost seeing him, he knows it, and he's trying so hard, and he knows he's dying.
Oh, that makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's that uncomfortable humor. I mean, I even because I appreciate the fact that he actually got on stage and the spotlight's on him, and he's in front of the brick wall, and he's just dying.
I understand it. It's like when one time when I think I was 9 years old and I was drowning, and my best friend Mike and I were both drowning. We were both in the process of genuinely drowning. Our hands were above the water. I looked over him underwater and he was just gulping air. I'm like, we're dying. This is it. And I'm like, if I don't learn to swim right now, we're both going to die. And so I literally like, how do animals swim? This is my whole thought. I'm drowning. And I go through like 9 thoughts before I start swimming. But I get up on the water and I start swimming like I'd seen I think it was a rat that my dad had chucked into the river and hit with a shovel, and it managed to go bonk. What the heck? And started. So I start swimming towards the shore and I get there. And my other friend Kurt, who I'd grown up with my entire life, is rolling with laughter on the beach. He's doing nothing to help. We are both just like absorbing God knows what filth that's in the water as well as just taking it into our lungs, and he's like oh yeah, it's kind of like that.
It really is.
On stage, like, I better learn to swim here.
That's exactly what
dying.
it is. And I'll tell you, that's the trick to stand-up.
Yeah,
you're learning to swim on stage, while you're drowning. Wow. And there's no other way around it. You can't go to school for stand-up, so you have to go learn how to swim while you're drowning.
Damn it.
That's going to be my stand-up book. Learn how to swim while you're drowning.
You can go see Hal Sparks. He's going to be performing his stand-up at Flappers Comedy Club. That's in Burbank. I don't think I told you where it was.
Yes.
On May 18th. For tickets, go to flapperscomedy.com. At Hal Sparks on Twitter.
Yeah.
You also do a political show on Sirius XM?
You're a super smarty. Like,
yeah.
You love all that
This
stuff.
is true. I do. Yeah, Saturdays I do a progressive talk radio show out of Chicago.
Right wing?
Huh? Yeah, I'm totally right.
Yeah, he's a total right
You know,
winger.
it's my time on Queer as Folk that totally
Yeah,
flipped me and made me like, I can't stand when people are happy.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna
queers.
gain a lot of weight and,
Yeah.
have a desk that basically squeezes me in.
And a
just
big
kinda
gold
sits there.
microphone.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
the
usually-
excellence in broadcast.
I mean, the history of, liberal radio never does well. I mean, it's like there's not those people who like to be. It's like we, like you said, are happy. You go out and you live happy and you live your life. You don't have to sit there and be told
How bad the world
unhappy
is.
you are on
Totally.
a daily basis, which makes right-wing conservative talk radio so popular. It's just like a beating every single day of the same information, just how much life sucks. It's like, hey, we go out and have fun.
Well, you don't get everybody wants a positive feedback of their own view of the world. Everybody needs that reflected back because most people would rather be right than happy.
That
They'd
is
rather
so
be
bad.
correct
Yeah, that's true.
about their own, like, yes, I was right about this. We're all miserable.
Right.
And the problem with the sort of the right-wing view of the world is that it's so miserable, the rest of the world doesn't reflect it back to you all the time. If you're relatively happy or you're kind of reasonably even keel, the world will reflect that. You'll drive around, you'll see an occasional accident, but you go, the world is full of drunks. You won't do that. But if you want to believe that, you're going to have to go home and watch the news and be reassured that that's true because the rest of the world didn't show you that day.
Right.
So that's what right-wing radio does. The other thing, too, is they totally get shored up financially by the Heritage Foundation and the Koch brothers and all these like secondary sources. They just pay for it.
The Koch brothers sound like a party, but they're
not.
No. They sound fun.
Well, they're the Koch brothers. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Because Coke sounds like and it's a good brand or whatever.
Koch
But
brothers.
they're the Koch brothers, which is a lot more indicative of how they seem. But honestly, they pay for it. I mean,
That's just how it works, though, isn't it? I mean, if you can pay for it, that's just how it runs. I mean, the political system. If you can pay for it, it works.
Yeah.
I saw It was a documentary Gas City 2 or something. It's
Fracking?
about fracking.
Oh yeah, right.
And it was a long documentary. I watched the whole damn
That
thing. where
don't exist.
People are lighting their garden hoses on
Yeah,
fire.
right. Yeah, and their faucets, like
Yeah, and talking about how it's that big money coming in there, and the EPA, just doing all the water testing, and it's like, oh no, it's fine.
It's fine.
It's okay.
We're
And
going
it's
in parts per million.
Yeah.
Just all parts per million.
And it was disappointing to hear. It's like, yeah, it's the big money that controls everything, and so it's like it's not for the people by the people, and it's for the money by the money.
Yeah.
Well, there is. It's interesting because like now fracking's been tied to earthquakes
Yeah.
and all kinds of like Indiana is having earthquakes because. And maybe this applies to oil too. I don't want to go too far out on the science limb, but it would seem to me if you had some sort of gel liquid underneath a tectonic plate and you suck all of it out.
Yeah.
It's going to have some sort of geographical effect on said tectonic plate. That would just seem logical to me. Like, if you took all the fluid out of your knee, it'd start clicking and popping and slipping out. And we don't even think about it. Like, look at all this stuff. Goop, goop, goop. And then just never believe it's actually...
You have to be able to pull it out quick like a tablecloth with dishes on it. You got to pull it out quick and you're fine.
And the flowers are still
And
standing.
say ta-da.
And here's the thing, though. Whatever and right wing, the new right wing meme about oil is that it grows back. Have you heard that?
What?
The anti-climate change crowd. Their big thing is called. I forget what the phrase for it, but it's like geo-rectification or some nonsense. But it's all just crap science. But they're like, yeah, oil's like it's like white blood cells. It just kind of grows back, and you're
Oh
like
my
constantly
God.
producing it. And you're like,
How?
yeah, you just pulled that out of your keister so that you could just move in on somebody going, oh, well then, yeah, take some. It'll grow back or whatever. What are you, a farmer now? You farm oil? That's what you believe?
God.
Yeah, the gold grows back too. I don't know what you're worried about.
Yeah, everything just grows back.
Right.
It all grow back.
It's like a lizard's tail.
Like, what is it? Monty Python's meaning of life. Grow back, will it? No.
No.
You post a link on your Twitter page at Hal Sparks every day to the Hal Sparks Daily. It's a bunch of news stories. It's you blog style commenting on all the news. It's like Hal Sparks on the world.
A bit. It's it's more like a compilation of both followers and stories and stuff that I do because it's just a way to aggregate all that info. I mean, you guys have to know that like the pressure of social media on artists or anybody who's in media is kind of cartoonishly painful now.
Be funny. Say something funny. Be funny.
Right.
Come on.
That's easy. The hard part is give a crap about something that you don't really give a crap with regularity so that certain people that you don't actually give a crap about following you will. Because you need the numbers to convince other people that these people who follow you will buy something you sell at a later date. It's like the MySpace numbers back in the day. Yeah. Which translated to nothing, by the way, for most people.
Right.
Have to turn into it's content followers as opposed to they have to meaningfully like what you do. So I try not to do too much like, hey, my sandwich kind of stuff, and really either make a joke or spread some information that I think is valuable that you would get if you were talking to me in a conveation.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Then it's genuine.
It's not just pictures of what you're going to eat.
Exactly, right. Because then, nobody wants to eat with me. It's a boring prospect, really.
Well, I mean, we are looking for a news person, so if you want to,
I can do that.
that'd be great.
That's easy. Yeah,
but you have to pass the jiggle test, so we need 10.
I got to do a bunch of
jumping jacks.
All
right. We got to spin in a circle. Jumping jacks in a circle.
Nothing jiggles.
I know.
I saw a little jiggle.
I like to see more jiggle in my news people.
That was my keys. That doesn't jiggle. That flops, and that's entirely different. You want a little, in your men, you want a little bit of flop, and your women, you want a little bit of jiggle. And I think not too much.
Not too much.
Because that's gross.
Hal Sparks, he's going to be performing his stand-up at the Flappers Comedy Club in Burbank on May 18th.
Smack myself in the sternum.
I think I broke my own name.
Right.
Changing the beat of his heart.
I know they have sports bras, but they have sports joggers. I gotta put something on. Rain this duct tape.
Go see Hal May 18th at Flappers Comedy Club. Get your tickets, flapperscomedy.com. Hal, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you, Hal.
My pleasure.
That was just a little sample of the Heidi and Frank Show on 95.5 KLOS. Now, to get the show in its entirety, on demand, and if you want to watch the show, we webcast it every day, all you have to do is go to HeidiandFrank.com and become a premium package member. Do it right now.